Today we're going to be going through 6 annoying things that Epic changed in Fortnite for really no reason. This video is brought to you guys by GameFlip, the cheapest place to get gift cards and memberships for Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, and even Amazon and more. Like recently, I bought a year of Xbox Live for $17 when it's usually $60. So definitely check it out through the link in the description. I really recommend it. Alright guys, so welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one, as I already said, we're going to be talking about 6 things that were changed over the course of Fortnite, over the course of this awesome game being up, but 6 random changes that nobody really asked for, but are kind of annoying, and honestly I'm hoping that someday they get put back to the way they were. But first of all, before we even get into the video, I do want to say that this is just a video for fun. I think Epic Games is one of the best companies out there when it comes to making video games. They've given us so many amazing things and definitely listen to the community a ton, but that doesn't mean that they don't change random things for really no reason. So as always guys, if you enjoy the video, be sure to smack that like button down below. It always helps me out a ton seeing how much you guys support the video. Seriously, I do appreciate it. And also right now, I want you guys to leave a comment down below about what you think the shopping cart is going to be in tomorrow's update. I'm excited for that. I really have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm sure you guys have some good ideas. But without further ado guys, let's jump into it here with the first thing on this list. Alright guys, so let's start off with a pretty recent one, alright? This is one that I personally thought was really unnecessary, and I'm still confused why they did it, and actually it was one that made last week's challenges really tough for a lot of people, and you guys might know where I'm going with this one, but the trap damage change. So this one, okay, we gotta talk about this one a little bit, gotta rant about it. So if you didn't know the damage traps in the game, in the past they did about, I think 125 damage. In fact, yeah, that's for sure what they did, which was a really good amount. Obviously you got an elimination if somebody had no shield, or even a little bit of shield, you still could get an elimination, and it made it so people had to be careful about traps. Obviously if you're putting down traps, you need to kind of hide them, be creative with them, and even then you didn't get a ton of kills with them. So recently they changed the damage to 75, which makes them almost completely useless, and really like there's no point to even using them. And you guys know what I'm talking about here. With last week's challenge you had to get a trap elimination, but obviously with the newly nerfed traps that made it super tough to do. Now the weird thing about this change in general is that I don't know a single person that was complaining about the trap damage previously. I mean, if you ran into a trap, that's your fault. Honestly, you deserve to get knocked out or eliminated for not being careful, and you kind of got outplayed to be honest. So nobody was complaining about this. I didn't see anybody talking about it. Personally, I thought the traps were fine. Honestly, you barely even got kills with them when they were at 125 damage, but now that they're at 75, just why? In fact, if Epic would have changed it to like 100, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal, because 100 would still kill an unarmed player. And even pros have been talking about how if you like land at a location and somebody else gets a gun and you get a trap, you can't even kill the other person with the trap. So it's really just like there's no point even having the traps anymore, which is super unfortunate. But yeah, that is only the first change, so let's get into it with the second one here. But this one I know will hit home with a lot of you guys, because it is one that was kind of fixed after people actually complained about them secretly changing it. But it is the switching weapon times, specifically when it had to do with like shotguns, like pump shotguns and stuff like that. Now I'm sure you guys are just as annoyed with this one as I have been, and I've kind of gotten used to it, but still, in the past there wasn't any delay in switching weapons. You could switch between like a pistol to a shotgun to an RPG, and they would all switch at the same speed. But nobody was complaining about the switching speed. Honestly, it felt fine. It made the game, you know, pretty quick, but not like super overpowered. Obviously, pro players could switch between their shotguns and ARs and, you know, do some really good damage. But the reason Epic Games supposedly changed this is because they didn't want it to be so fast that newer players got like intimidated or something like that. I don't know the exact reason why, but it was pretty unnecessary. Again, nobody was complaining about it. Even newer players thought that the slowed down switching speeds was kind of annoying and made the game feel a little bit clunkier. So overall, it was a pretty unnecessary change. Now recently they did revert like the sniper rifle back to how it was before, because seriously, pulling out your bolt action sniper rifle and it taking like a full second, and then the reload was like super long as well. It was just really annoying all around. Now as for the shotguns, they haven't been put back, and I think we've all gotten used to it, so it's not a huge deal. But again, it was changed for really no reason, so that's something to talk about. But moving on again here, let's talk about something that personally annoys me, and I've been waiting to put it in a video because I'm hoping some other people agree with me here, but this is actually a change that was added into building actually a few months ago. Honestly, it's been a while and I haven't really talked about it since. I've gotten a little bit used to it, but it still really annoys me. I'm talking about how they removed the feature where it would automatically make your player stand up when you go into build mode. So again, since this one was changed a while ago, if you weren't aware, like in the past when you were building stuff, if you were crouched and you went into building mode, you know, held B or whatever you use on keyboard, it would automatically make your player stand up. Now recently Epic Games changed that so that if you go into edit mode while you're crouched, you stay crouched and then you have to press the jump button or whatever to get uncrouched when you're building. Now you may think, oh, that's not that big of a deal, and maybe that's actually helpful in case you do want to be crouched when building, but honestly, I have never once needed to be crouched when building. Not a single time. Every single time I'm crouched and go into building mode, I have to remember to press the jump button, not the crouch button, the jump button to get uncrouched so that I can start building upwards. And it's seriously one of the most annoying things to me. And along with this, when they changed it, they could have just made it an option. They could have made it something that they put in the settings that you turn it on or off, whether or not you want to automatically stand up when you're going to build. But for some reason, that's one of the only settings that they didn't add an on or off option for. But do any of you guys find that annoying? Comment down below if you do find that annoying. I'm hoping some of you can relate to me here. But as for number 4 here, this is just a small one, so only talk a tiny bit about it. But it's actually very similar to the weapon switching nerf, or whatever you really want to call it. Shotgun Armageddon, I don't know. But after they made that change, they eventually added it to the pickaxe for no reason whatsoever. And I know what some of you are going to be thinking, that this is kind of nitpicking, but again, this video is about random changes that were made in the game for no apparent reason. Nobody was complaining about them, but Epic Games still sadly decided to change them anyways. So if you're unaware about what this change is, about a couple of months ago when you switched to your pickaxe from your guns, there was really no delay. In fact, you could press your switch button and immediately start mining materials. There was nothing overpowered about that. That was just how it worked. You were used to it, and if you just wanted to do it quick, you would just quickly switch and start mining materials. It's not like it gave you an advantage over other players. It was just kind of, you know, an easy thing to do and worked out well. Well, recently, Epic Games decided to change it and add this fairly annoying delay, like half a second delay, that when you pull out your pickaxe, you're not able to actually mine anything. In fact, it even goes one step further in that if you start trying to mine before that little timer is up, you'll have to repress the mining button to even start mining materials again. And hopefully I have a clip of this here. I'd have to look through my Xbox recordings, but I'm not sure why they changed this. I don't know if they wanted to make it, again, like slower. I don't know if they wanted to make like the animation smoother, because in the past it was fine. I mean, nobody really cared. The game's in beta. There's a lot of other glitches you should probably fix first before worrying about the tiniest little slightly unnatural pickaxe animation. But for some reason they did decide to change this, and honestly it just feels a bit clunky now. I'm still not quite used to it. It still feels a little bit unnatural. But come on, Epic, nobody was complaining about this, so maybe put it back if you're listening to this video somehow. Now for number 5, this one is one that I would like back, but I kind of understand why it was removed by Epic, even though again nobody was complaining about it, because it was honestly kind of a fun thing to do. But this was another one that was changed a while ago in the past. So if you weren't playing Fortnite a couple of months ago, this one has to do with how walls are now built. In the past, when you put up a wall, whether it was wood, brick, or metal, they built up different from how they do now. So more specifically, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to the brick walls, they used to build from bottom to top. Now if you were a high-skilled player back in the day, you used this to your advantage. So when you were building your 1x1s, if you used brick and sometimes wood, what you could do is hit your side walls a little bit with your pickaxe to break off those top pieces of the wall so that you could actually see through them. Now this allowed you to peek with your sniper rifle without actually being able to get shot. Now on top of that, you could also use it so that you could jump peek really quickly, so you would pop up, snipe, and then go back down, and nobody would ever really be able to shoot you. It was a super fun tactic to use, and I could see why it might have been like a little bit overpowered, but you could even do this with wood because the top piece was smaller and you could actually like see through the cracks more. Like recently they changed it so that like the brick walls build from the bottom and the top and kind of go towards the middle, so that you're not really able to do this anymore. And also the wooden walls have this really big wooden piece along the top so that you can't really look through it and crouch up and get a shot like that. You can still kind of do it if you happen to have like the perfect angle, but for the most part they did patch it, and I kind of understand why, but still nobody was really complaining about it, so who knows. But as for the final one on this list, this one is kind of a small one, but you know, you gotta save a fun one for last, and this one has to do with airdrops, which are always fun. So this one, like, I noticed personally, but I don't know how many other people really noticed it, but apparently like a month ago they changed the way that airdrops appear on the map, or more specifically in the past when an airdrop like appeared on the map, you would be able to hear it from I believe a farther distance away. And actually now that I'm saying it, I'm not 100% sure how it was changed, but it feels different. It feels like I can hear less airdrops in the game now. And I know the sounds are for sure different, but I think the sounds were kind of nerfed a little bit so that you can't hear ones that are a bit farther away. Along with that, they also spawn a lot higher up, making them harder to spot from a distance, which is a little bit annoying. And I don't exactly know why they changed it. Now on the one side, I do kind of like how the new sound effects have like the ding, and then you can hear it sort of more clearly if it is close to you, but the old way you could still hear them from farther away, and it was easier to spot them. But along with that, actually on another note, something that I really wish they would change in the airdrops is remove the minigun, the golden minigun, maybe even like the golden shotgun. Every time I get something like that, it is just such a pain. It just hurts to rush towards an airdrop, be super excited, you open it up, and you get some bandages and the freaking golden minigun. So annoying. So maybe that's technically a change that nobody really asked for. I don't know, but yeah guys, that is going to be it for this list. Kind of a different video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to smack that subscribe button in the center of your screen for more videos just like this coming up in the near future. Along with that, you can check out the week 5 challenges guide on the left, as well as another fun video on the right. But other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.